Coaches, what's up? Hope you're feeling amazing on purpose. Julius here. Here to break down a nice stretching routine that you can do with your team, either pre-game, pre-practice. It's going to consist of some dynamic warm-up movements, some static cool-down stretching, also some different little things to get the feet going, to get the hips going, get the mental going, and just get the body ready to go out and compete. All right. First I'd like to do is just to have everybody kind of get loose. Just send them down with a nice half-speed jog, right? The reason why I like to do this is, at this point, I'm usually talking to them about mental prep, what's going on right now, what the focus is about to be, what we're looking to get into. Then I go into a side shuffle, emphasizing not crossing the feet here, all right? Staying low, get the arms moving. All right. I always have them just face the same way, up and back here with this. All right. Once we get into that, then I go into a karaoke. This is gonna help get the hips going, open up. I try to tell them keep the shoulders facing front as you let the legs and the lower body rotate through, all right? Or the waist and the lower body, excuse me. All right, and then from there I like to go, I'll face you with this one so you can see, I like to go into your defensive slide position. So we start here, hips down, and then we're pushing back, all right? That would look like this from this way here. So now that we got the blood flowing, everything's kind of loose. You don't really want to be stretching tight muscles. You want to make sure that everybody's already warmed up before you start to yanking and pulling on muscles, all right? So now that we got that done, you want to start with your dynamic warm-up. I like to start with a walking knee hug. Take a step. This will help with balance and joint stability, right? Grab here and then pull up towards the chest. Take the step forward here and then pull up towards your chest. Some things to watch for with this. You'll see some people just kind of here, just pulling here. You want to really emphasize, and even the people who are really flexible, like there might not be a great stretch, but it's still going to work to balance once you get up in here, all right? I have them do that all the way down. Depending on how long you have, if you have about 20 yards, I would maybe do about 10 yards of the stretch. Every step, no skips in between, no steps in between, and then jog it down. If you have a shorter space, then you can just kind of work that. All right? And that's going to go right into a quad stretch. Quad stretch is kind of a similar motion like the knee hug, but you're going to start bringing in that knee hug motion here. Hand goes right to the shin and then pull straight back, stretching out the quad. This way you get the full range of motion. You want to make sure people aren't just reaching back here. Well, and this will still stretch, but this here will give you the full range of motion throughout the stretch. All right. And once again, do that walk in there. Next, I like to go into a cradle stretch. All right. Legs gonna come up here, both hands go on the shins. You'll see people grab the foot here. This puts a lot of torque on the knee. We wanna avoid that. We wanna go one hand up by close to the knee, other hand ankle shin, pulling up here. They should be feeling that right underneath the hamstring and then the glutes, all right? Like I said, we'll be doing that walking. Try to emphasize no extra steps in between, and that will really focus on the balance of it, all right? Next, you got a straight leg march. Emphasizing keeping the leg completely straight, toe pull back towards the face. You'll see a lot of people just kicking up in the air. You're morely just warming up the hip flexors versus stretching out the hamstring. So you really want to emphasize keeping that toe pull back towards the face, reaching towards the opposite hand, because that'll help also stretch out the lower back, all right? Next, we got superhumans, all right? What you want to do is take a step, keep a slight bend on the leg that you're standing on here, right? It should feel like someone's pulling your arms forward and your leg backwards, trying to make one straight line, holding it here, and then right up, all right? A lot of times you see people come here and they'll do it like this here. That's a choice. It definitely hits the hamstrings here. When you come down to here, you can hit the hamstrings, but the problem with that is you'll get a lot of people to just come here and they'll just start to bounce into it, and they're not really working on the balance aspect of it. So that's why I choose to go with this motion here, to try to get the most out of the balance and the stability of it, as well as the stretch. All right. Next, from there, we're going to an elbow to instep. You got a big stride out. Take the elbow towards the ankle. All right. Inside of the leg. Okay. Back knee stays off of the ground. Major coaching point with this one here. All right. Anytime you're in a lunge or a squat position, you want your knee to be directly over top of your ankle. You should be able to wiggle your toes on that planted squatted leg, all right? So in this position here, I should be able to wiggle my toes, hands inside here, keeping that chest tall, stretching out that back hip flexor, and then I step up right into my next rep. All right? Once again, the major thing you'll see with that is people taking a smaller stride here, and then they'll end up in this position here. Once you get past 90 degrees, you're putting a lot of pressure on the patella. We want to try to avoid that, especially all the stuff we're doing on the turf, right? So next, we got a lateral lunge. So I'll come this way. You're gonna take a big stride out to the side here. Once you get to this position here, you're gonna be sinking the hips back. This leg's going to a lunge position. This leg's gonna stay straight, stretching out the inner thigh and the groin here. And over here, you're hitting the inner thigh and the glute as you drive back, all right? Rock over to both sides. What you do is from here now, you cross step over right into your next rep, drop back and drop back. And I'll show you this way so you can watch the hips. Here, hips back, cross step, drop. All right, and then lastly, I like to do a toe reach, all right? Sink in the hips here. This leg is gonna be straight. No weight should be on this leg here, all right? Just heel touching the floor, reaching down towards the toe, all right? Hold it for a couple seconds, stand up. This one I like to take 3 steps in between. This will just prevent this here. And if kids are getting lazy, like this would be great if everyone's holding this position, right? But the likelihood of it, we're gonna end up getting this and a rounded back. So we don't want a rounded back here. That's gonna put a lot of pressure on the lower back. Wanna be able to keep the chest tall here, sink in the hips. And the way I like to demonstrate is I put them in this position first, then put the leg out, drop down. 3 steps, squat, leg, down. All right, so now we got the blood flowing through the muscles. We're stretched out, got our balance going. So now it's time to work like some fast twitch muscles, get the mind going for explosive type movements before we actually get into competition or practice, right? Starting here, I like to start staggering the line here. Opposite hand's gonna be forward. What we're gonna do here is just explode back and forth, nice and light, emphasizing staying on the balls of the feet, keeping the heels off the ground. I give a go call, go, and then they jog it out. Couple things to watch for. You'll see people kind of shuffling and going back and forth. You want both feet coming off the ground at the same time, keeping the hips down. On the go call, you should see a level change to here and then jog it out. If they took S4 training, you should see them explode out with acceleration step. Next, I have them start facing this way. Now we're going to work some lateral stuff. Hips down, both feet over the lines. On the go call, get the hips down, go, accelerate out. Now we're gonna get it crisscross, all right? So you just start here, feet will come across the line, come back here, cross, and back. Get the arms to work, opposite hands should be coming forward every time. Go. Now if the line's in front of them here, I'll show you facing this way, all right? This is a quick breakdown drill, open up and get out. Start here, you'll take 2 steps, 1, 2, open up, and jog it out. All right, we'll start left foot first. Go. All right, you can do this 1 or 2 ways. You can stay with a shuffle. You can go right to a sprint or a crossover sprint, I should say, or you can just go go shuffle to the sprint. I'll go shuffle sprint here. Right foot first. Go. Cool drill you could add to that. Start here. You just call out right or left. They react with that foot first. Both feet will have to go over. Both feet will have to go over until you give a go call and you fire out. Here's an example. Left, right, left, go. All right. You can choose which side you want them to go to on a hand signal. Now to build on that drill from a little bit further back, have them start out. You give them a go call, they'll sprint towards you. You'll just yell right or left, all right? On a right or left call, they'll break down, open up with a shuffle, transition into a sprint. Go, left. So that's just a couple of things I use to kind of get my athletes going, get their mindset. And like I said, throughout all that stuff with the drills, right? Once you give the instructions, I'm basically at that point emphasizing why we're looking to be critical about it, why we're not just walking through the warm-up, why the warm-up is almost more important than the actual game, right? Because if they don't get that quality part of the warm-up, get their mind right, get their body right, it's gonna be tough to do the things you're asking for them to do. So I hope this was helpful. I look forward to providing more information and tips to you guys. And you ladies, stay amazing on purpose.